So I was going back and checking out older videos on my channel, and I was trying to find the video where I talked about one of my favorite games, and I couldn't find it. It turns out that even though I've done playthroughs of this game, I never actually did a video where I just talked about all the great things about Santorini. Which is odd, because it's a game that I've owned for a really long time, and if you want to check out my top 10 games of all time, it's one of my favorite games I've ever played. So today I'm going to fix that mistake. My name's Ryan. In this video, I'm going to tell you about Santorini. The first thing you have to know about Santorini is that it is a pure strategy game. That means there's no luck, there's no card draw, there's no dice rolling. It is just 100% strategy, and it's best played at 2 players. So it's pretty much just you and your opponent trying to outsmart each other in a pure strategy context. Each player is given 2 players, and what you're going to do in your turn is take one of those players and move to a new spot in the grid. You're on a 5x5 grid, and you're simply going to move from one spot to the next. After moving that character to an adjacent square, that character may now build anywhere around them a tower. If there's already a tower there, they may build a level 2 tower on top of that. If there's a level 2 there, they can build a level 3 on top of that. If a level 3 is there, they can actually cover it with a dome. And the basic premise of the game is you want to work your way up higher and higher and try to stand on a 3rd level tower before your opponent stands on a 3rd level tower. So it's very head to head. You're just going to try to wall them off, maybe build a level 2 tower here so your opponent can't get through that way. Maybe try to use your characters to block them from spaces where they can block you. You're trying to stop them from standing on a 3rd level tower, and hopefully you get there first. And you're probably thinking, well, Ryan, I don't know you. You probably just love these games. You probably love pure strategy games, and so this is just one of those great pure strategy games. And the answer is no. There's not another game like this in my top 10. There's not even another game like this probably in my top 20. What sets Santorini apart is that not only is it just pure strategy game, but it also comes with 30 unique powers. When you play the game, you're going to select one of these powers that's going to let you do something that breaks the core rules of the game. So a simple power would be Artemis, who instead of moving and building, she may move twice and build if she wants to. Well, imagine playing checkers for a second, another pure strategy game, and one character just got to move twice if they want to. You can never win, right? That power would be so much better to be able to move twice if you want to. There's no way to stop them. Same thing as Santorini. If that person has Artemis, they can move twice and build. They're unstoppable. There's probably no way you can overcome a person with that good of power. But the thing is, all 30 of the powers are that good. There's a power that says stand on a level 2 tower and just step off to the ground level, and you win. Another person says if you're standing here and someone's adjacent to you but lower, they turn into stone and they're gone. There's so many cool powers and cool combinations. Some of them are more simple, like maybe move and build twice. Some of them are more complicated, like take a character, flip them to the other side of you. Some of them can shove other characters. Basically, there are 30 things in the box that each one of them will vastly change the game, but not only that, but you're playing 2 powers against each other. Basically, that means you end up with about 400 different combinations, and I haven't even come close to playing all the combinations. So every time you play this game, you think, oh, because of my unique ability, this is the way I can kind of get to that 3rd level tower and win. But I also have to be careful about their unique ability, because of theirs, they could possibly do this to win. So it becomes this whole kind of like in chess or checkers, pure strategy game, but every game is different. When you experience that game, there's all these combinations, all these ways this game can play out, and you're just trying to kind of figure it out as you go along. What's the best way to defeat their power with your power? Another thing great about this game is it looks really good. It looks really cute. It didn't go for like a dark evil fantasy. It went for kind of like the Greek god vibe. Santorini is a city in Greece. It kind of has that look to it, but the towers are actual little towers that fit into each other really well. They build up. It makes a whole spatial puzzle trying to get up to a 3rd level. You can't jump up more than one level. You can jump down as far as you want to. That's an interesting puzzle, and actually seeing the game built up in front of you. So you can see I'm here. You could possibly move to here. You can kind of look around the board. It looks really cool. I mean, even people who aren't into pure strategy games, when they see this game set up, it looks cute. You have all these white towers with a little blue caps on top that look like the city of Santorini. It's just a really good presentation. Now, I know at this point in the video, you're sold. You're just like, I'm going to click that button. I'm going to order it right now. Well, before you do, let me just warn you. It is a pure strategy game. So some people who think it looks great will still not love the gameplay. Now, like I said, I don't even love pure strategy games. They're fine. These things can be called abstracts. I can get into them a little bit. I typically will play one and I really enjoy it for 3 or 4 or 5 plays, and so I kind of figure out the way it works. Once I figure out the way it works, then it just kind of comes down to how much time do you want to devote to be great at. You can figure out chess. Chess is interesting, but at a certain point you're like, well, do I want to devote the amount of time it takes to be great at this, or to rather spend my time playing different games. And for me, it's typically spend my time playing different games. Even though I don't hate the game of chess or other abstract strategy games, Santorini again is set apart in my mind because every combination is so unique. Every time I play the game, basically, I'm playing a new combination that I haven't played against, so I'm rediscovering the game. And even if I go back and play old ones, it might have been 20 or 30, 40 plays since I have played that exact combination again. So the games end up being really, really, really unique one to the next. But if you don't like pure strategy, or you're planning on playing this with someone who really doesn't want a game where you got to kind of be good at saying, okay, if I go here and build this, you can move here and build this, and then I could go here. It does definitely help if you have the ability to count forward a few turns, see the board, kind of imagine how it's going to, or visualize how it's going to develop spatially. If that's not your thing, you won't like the game, you're not gonna hurt my feelings. I still think it's great. I just wanted to put that warning out there in case it does look great. It looks cute. I think it's awesome. The player powers are very enticing. But if you just flat out don't like that kind of game, it still might not be your thing. I just want to make sure I'm clear that Santorini is not a long game though. I think sometimes people hear the name chess and they think, oh, so Santorini might be an hour or too long. No. The rounds, especially once you put the player powers into there, the rounds are typically 5 or 10 minutes. Without the player powers, I found them to be a little longer, like 10 or 15, because no one has kind of a cool power to finish the game. Like I can move twice here, I'm gonna move here, build 2 towers, wall you off, and then I win. If no one has those powers, the games take a little longer to develop. But with the powers, the games can be less than 5 minutes, but often kind of in that 5 to 10 minute zone. So just in case you were afraid of the word chess, when I said chess, you're like, oh, I can't play a big game. It's not a long game, it just kind of has a similar strategic kind of base as chess does. Alright, so there are my thoughts on Santorini. Like I said, it's a game I love. I don't have a lot of negatives on this game. I basically have no negatives on this game. The only thing to be careful of is if you know you hate pure strategy games, you hate thinking out multiple turns in advance and outsmart people, it's not going to be your thing. If you're interested in it, again, I think it's a great, almost lighter package to absorb pure strategy in because it's not as big and complicated as a game like chess, but also that variability keeps each play discovery keeps happening. It's not like games that have been really well thought out and the right lines of logic are already written in books. You're going to be doing so much discovery as you play this game of the best ways to beat your opponents with the powers you have. Of course, if you enjoyed the video, liking it and subscribing to the channel, you'll see a lot more videos like this. Also tons of playthroughs on the channel, some group and some solo. See you then.